money stay high. Go to YouTube for story time with Ray We say he's a great guy. Have a lot of fun telling you his life and blaze live. Stay high. I dare you tonight to what? To like, share, and subscribe.
What is good? What is good? Vibe gang, welcome to Story Time with Ray. It's difficult. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know how difficult it was to actually sit here and think about what I'm gonna talk about. It's been difficult, but I got a good one for you today. As you can see by the title, my first time riding a bike. Now this is something special. I'll show you later why it's special, but this is something special in my heart because it started back, I was about 8 years old, something like that. I see all the kids in my neighborhood that go to my school, and I see them with these bikes, and they're just trotting along, looking all cool and shit. And I was just like, man, I want one. Mama, Papa, please, can I have one? And it was always, there was a lot of robberies going on in my apartment complex. So my dad was always worried that somebody was gonna go steal it and stuff like that. So he always postponed it. And then my cousin started getting bikes. My cousin started getting the little bicycles with the little lightning rods on the side of it. So I'm over here, I'm thinking to myself as an 8-year-old child, how can I procure a bicycle for myself? So I tried a couple of things. I told one of my boys from my class, hey, I'll let you hold something of mine if you let me hold a bicycle and let me ride it for 5 minutes. He said, nah, we good. My mama just got me this bike. I understand the mother dilemma. I get it. It registers in. And I'm like, you know what? If I mess this bike up, not only is she going to whoop his ass, she's going to come knock on my mother's door and say, excuse me, your son, Clay? Yeah, my son bike broke. Fat head. And my mom's going to whoop my ass. I don't want that to happen. So I was like, I got you. My next procurement is, if I'm walking from school and I see a bicycle, and let's just say the bicycle is on a fence, but there's no lock, there's no chain and lock for the bike. It's just laying there. My mind tells me, oh, I could borrow this for a minute and then I'll return it when I'm done. Couldn't do that. Somebody saw me do it immediately. I was horrible. I was horrible at it. I couldn't take a bike to save my life. Didn't work. Third option. And this was the option that I didn't want to go. I didn't want to take this road, man. It was, my heart was aching. I slept early that night because I knew in the morning I was going to have to go and say, Father, I understand that I've asked you for a bike before. There's how I'm practicing in my head, how I'm going to explain this to him. Father, I know that I've asked you this before. But as the days go by, I start seeing more and more kids my age getting bicycles. Now, I understand where you coming from about the whole bicycle situation. I get it. But this is what's going to happen if I don't get a bike. And you could just take this and you could just live with it for a night or two, and then we could revisit this conversation and see where we could find a middle. I'll have no problem with a tricycle. If you find a pink one, fuck it. I'll ride it. I don't care. Everybody's getting a bike. I don't want to be the one without the bike. I don't want to be the one walking, trying to catch up to these guys. It's not fair for my development as a child. I'm going to start having trust issues. I may or may not slap people when I get older for no reason. I'm going to start getting hatreds about squirrels if this doesn't happen. So to end this, I'm going to ask you from the bottom of my heart, I lived in your balls, bro. May I have a bicycle unit? I already had that speech memorized. I had it in my heart and in my soul. The next day came. I woke up extra early, got ready. It was a Saturday. So I knew this was the perfect time to ask for a bike. Because Saturdays usually in my home has a lot of fuckery going on. There's always something going on. And Saturdays usually at this time frame, Saturdays usually we clean the house. Then when the house, because there was 4 of us. I had 3 sisters and me. So like sometimes some of the sisters stay home and clean the house, and the other 2 go with the parents to go do the grocery shopping and or this other stuff at Western Beef. That's what we did our grocery shopping. Shout out to Western Beef. I don't think it's there no more, but shout out to them for having the best cuts of beef. And it was an amazing place. My dad was smoking and pushing the car. Hey, pushing around and shit like that. Like the ashes are hitting my face, bro. Like, what are you doing? But anyways, so I was like, there's a perfect opportunity. I can have some alone time in the car. Because usually my mom and my sisters, when we do 2-2s, my mom and my sister usually go on ahead so my dad could find a parking spot, whip the Taurus station wagon, stop playing with them, and park that bitch. So that was a perfect time. I'm going to stay in the car with this ad. I'm going to go ahead and ask him about this bicycle situation. Everything went off without a hitch. Yeah, we got in the car. When my dad stops, there'll be a kid riding a bike crossing in front of us. And I was like, man, look at that, man. I started like giving him clues about what's about to happen to his ass, right? And I look at the kid and I was like, man, he's riding it wrong. No good. He's not riding it the right way. And then I'd be like, Dad, the wheel in the back of that bike that the kid's riding, doesn't that look a little crooked? Maybe we could pull over. We could go ahead and tighten it up for him. Safety is key, because when you're a bike owner, safety has to be your number 1 priority. Helmets, knee pads, elbow pads, all that. If I owned a bike, I'll wear a bulletproof vest. That's how protected I'm gonna be. And my dad, all he said was like, "That kid's stupid," and he just kept on driving. Which that was just strike 1. I still got 2 fucking strikes. That doesn't mean I lost. That just means I got 2 more pitches. And it's depending how these 2 pitches go, is depending how the rest of this Saturday is going to be for me. We get to the place. My mom and my sister walk out, get the cart, start going inside to go get the fruits, vegetables, and all that other stuff, right? My dad finds a parking spot. And he said, "Come," and I'm walking with him. Lollipop, I'm a good kid. Lollipop. I want to start singing songs and things in his head to know that I'm a good kid. I see a rack of bikes, all parked, chained up and everything. And I said, man, oh man, Pops, look at all those bikes. That's the real proper way of transportation, if you ask me. Because I have good parents. You know that. You know that. I have good parents. They taught me how to treat the environment. If there was a situation that something happens, oh my God, mommy, she fell and she twisted her ankle, right? And then you say, I'm gonna go get the car, and you go get the car and there's no gas. Trucks are blocking the way so the ambulance can't even get through. Throw mom on my back, get on that bike. Brooklyn Hospital, here we come. See how bikes are very useful in society. And it's healthy for the environment. I don't think he heard me say any of that, but I think it registered later in his heart. So that was strike 2. Not bad. It's not bad. I got one more strike to go, baby. I got all day for this. I'm going to keep on popping fucking foul balls until situation changes. So we get inside Western Beef. My dad lights up a stogie, puts me in the inside of the car, because I like to ride inside the car because I feel like I'm a caged animal. But I'm not the violent one. I'm the one you can pet, but I am caged and I am an animal. So I like to play monsters and rabbits. Like, that was my game, playing for myself. Nobody understood it. He is going to attack the rabbit. You cannot let the rabbit in. That's how you play the game. Anyway, I'm in the cart. So in Western Beef, there's beef, vegetables, and all the food stuff is over here, this side of that huge ass freaking building. Right here on this side. Then they had a couple little shops on the side. They sell toys, clothing, bicycles. But they have a whole bunch of shit that they sell on the side, right? So I peeped the bike, and I saw the one that I liked. It was a blue one, had nice wheels, the tire's really strong, for traction. Make sure nothing's gonna happen to you when it's raining outside. Cause snow, rain, I'm like the post office. I'm gonna save you guys. Ain't no more, hey dad, can you pick me up? Pick me up. I'm gonna call you and say, do you want me to pick you something up? Right? So the blue one was tight, had nice cushiony seats for the butt. I don't have an ass. So it was bone and skin that I got in my back. So it hurts when you got a small seat. This one had a nice wide seat. Both my cheeks could pretty much be comfortable through the ride. So what does that do? Helps me with the muscles in my legs to make sure that I never get no blood clots. So you're saving my life in a way. In a way. Think about it. It was a beautiful situation. Bike was there. My dad was there. Put 2 and 2 together. Let's make a fucking sandwich. I'm peeping that bike, and I'm having this conversation in my head, and I'm just like, ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. I could ride the bike home if he wants me to. It doesn't fit in the car. I'll ride it. I don't care. So I wait. I'm in the car with my dad, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting for him to do that turn. Because when he makes that turn, Bicycle City, baby. All types, big, small. All types of bikes. You could tell they were stolen, too. You could tell because the shit was corroded. There was fire bikes there, though. They had brand new ones in that motherfucker, too. They were just trying to sell a little bit for everybody. That's all. So we pass it. My dad stops. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, when he stopped at the bike section, I was like, it's a fucking wrap. It's going to be bike summer this summer. I'm going everywhere. My dad comes out. And he talking to the guy that sells the bikes. And I'm like, oh, this is about to be lit. I created the word lit. I said it in my head back then. This is about to be lit. My dad knew the dude. That was a buddy of his. They were just talking. They were not bike related. Cool. That's fine. I'm over here, I'm already saying, that was strike 3. I thought him looking at the bikes and then me doing one of these was going to do something. And he ignored the shit out of it. He went straight to his board talking about playing dominoes after this shit. Come to the house because we're inviting some people and they're going to play bingos and dominoes and we're going to drink and smoke and we're going to do some crazy shit. Bring the kids, we'll lock them in the room. We got a Nintendo. We have a Nintendo? I'm sorry, sir. This is how gifts work. The minute I unwrap it, it is in my possession. It means it's my property. You don't tell these kids to come over here and play my controller. I clean my controllers every night because I don't like handprints or fingerprints on my shit. I like my shit shiny and pretty. So like that, when kids come over, they be like, oh, he's got the limited edition. No, it's just clean. But because I don't know. And I swear to God, if they come to the house and they start playing my Mario game and they beat the level that I've been stuck on for 2 weeks, I'm fucking them up in the house. Not bike related. We get all the grocery done and everything, and I'm doing one of these. So my mother, I'm like, wild card. My mom is worried now. Uh-oh. What happened? As I was talking to your spouse, it's a lot of things going on in life right now that deserves for me to have a bite. I believe it will bring our family closer, and he just doesn't care. No. You get a bike. We'll get you a bicycle later. Later. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, she's gonna talk him into getting me this bike that I want so goddamn much. Come back. We get home. Groceries are getting put away. House is immaculate. Good job, girls. And that smells like pine sol and good visions. That's what it smelled like. Come back. Go to my room. Turn on the Nintendo. And I start playing, right? I'm doing all this and that and the third. I'm hearing conversations going on in the living room. And I heard bicicleta, which in Spanish, that's bicycle. So that means my mom did her job as a mother and had the conversation to the fastest of her ability to have that conversation with him. She didn't wait until tonight. She didn't wait until he was drunk. She didn't wait until Sunday after Mass, because maybe if we pray on it, maybe we can make this happen by Monday. She said immediately and wholeheartedly, I'm going to talk to him about this, because he deserves the bike. She understands my vision. My mom's telling him that we need to go. Let's get him a bike. Let's do this. Yada, yada, yada. And all this. My dad broke down, bro. I did this dance. He came home from work one day. A couple weeks passed by. I'm in pins and needles waiting for the moment that we're going to go get this bike. And I'm excited. I'm like, in my mind, I'm going inside a bike store. Bike store's going to be all shiny. Light bulbs are not going to flicker. They're actually going to stay on. And floors are made out of gold. And all the bikes are so shiny, like it's illegal to drive it in the daytime because when the sun hits it, it reflects and people get blind and shit. That's in my mind. I'm like, I'm gonna walk in there wearing brand new Jordans with a chain that says Bike Life, with a kimono on. I don't know why. I just like kimonos. Kimonos look comfortable as shit. And I'm just walking in there, and they treat me like a king. They give me champagne, caviar, and all this shit. In my mind, that's what I'm thinking. Usually my dad, when he's off at work, about 45 minutes before he leaves work, he calls the house and he says, put your song on the phone. Because I wasn't allowed to pick up the phone, because I always pick it up saying, hello, and I start singing and dancing and shit. And you just make a big deal because I'm excited that people are contacting us. So my dad calls. My mom picks up. Your father said to hold the parking spot for him. So when he comes, he's coming in about an hour. When he comes, he could have a parking spot closer to the house. And I was like, bet, I'm on it. That's what I usually do not every day when he goes to work, but most of the time I do that. Cool. It gives me time to be independent, be outside in the street, walking to people. How you doing? How's the neighborhood today? Just try to connect. I wait about 30, 45 minutes. My mom said, I think he got you something. And I went, no. She said, Jess. Because he said that he needs your help to take something upstairs. 5 flights. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I lived in a 5-floor building. We live at the 5th fucking floor. I went, this is the moment. Okay, cool, he got the bike without us going to the store and people giving me champagne and shit at 8 years old. That's cool. But fuck all that. We got to the meats and potatoes. So I'm thinking, my brain already is like, I got shoes to match the bike because the bike is blue. It's going to be fire. I'm going to get me a helmet that said Speed Demon right on the side of it because I ain't going to stop. I was excited as shit because in my mind, it's the bike. It's the bike. About 10 minutes before my dad gets home, I run down the stairs. There's the parking spot. Bah! And I stand right in front of it. Waiting. I know it was my dad coming because when he coming down the block, there's the right light bulb always flickered. Whenever you hit a bump or something, it'll flicker. I told him I was like, bicycles, pretty easy to fix, but he didn't listen. He got to the parking spot. Boom. This is the type of dude I am. Even if I know there's something back there because my mom snitched on him, even if I know, I'm not going to look at it because I don't want to look and not see it there and then be heartbroken. And then when he gets out the car, I'm like this. Why? I don't want to do that. I don't even look at the back seat. I see him coming. I move out the way. He parks the car. He pops the back. That noise was the best noise that I heard in many years. Many of years. That, door opened up. Bicycle. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a bicycle. It was dark outside. Couldn't really see the bike, but I see him hold it up and pull it out. And I'm like, it's a wrap. He broke the bike. The bike was black. The bike chain, orange-ish tint. The seat had the cushion coming out, but it had cushion. The bell is opened from the inside and just hanging. And there's no lights. So I looked at it and I went, dude, I got a fucking bike. I don't give a fuck what it looked like. I was excited. For a second, it threw me off for a second. I ain't gonna lie. When I saw it, I went, but then it came back, yo, you got a bike. So I was like, And not only do I have a bike, but now I have a project. I'm going to make this bike as pretty as I can afford to. Your man not working at that time. So I know how I was going to do it. I use shit around the house, DIYs and all that. I take the bike. And my dad's like, don't ride it now because it's dark out here. And I don't want you to get hit by a car, somebody do something stupid or you lose control, whatever. Don't write it now. We're going to go to the park tomorrow. Because they were having this barbecue thing at the park next to my house. And it was my dad and my aunts and my mom, and they all planned it. So we were going to a park next to my house to have a little barbecue and all that. And I was like, oh shit, that's even better. So I could show my cousin, like, watch what I could do. Triple flip back in the face. I'm nasty with it. Cool. I can't sleep the whole night. The bike is in the middle of that little hallway living room. The bike is right there. And I can't sleep. I open the door and I look at it. That's my baby right there. That's my bitch. Yeah, nobody can tell me nothing about Blackie. Fuck out of here. I pet her when I went to the bathroom. I'll see you tomorrow. The whole night I couldn't sleep. Excited. Morning comes. Cock-a-doodle-doo! That was a crackhead that lived across the street. He likes to cluck outside the windows. He's retarded. Anyway. I don't remember what time it was when we got ready. Like, nothing in VENMO happened throughout that, but just me looking at the bike. But it was time for us to leave. We're putting all the food inside the car, and then we throwing a bike in there, and I'm always sitting in the back of the Taurus. There's no seat, so it's like the pretty much the trunk. And I was in there with the food and the bike, and I was happy as a pig and shit, because I'm over here with my bike and I'm looking cool out the window, like all the kids are passing by and they're looking at me like, oh, he got a bike, and I'm like, that's right. And if you work hard, you could get one too. I was trying to inspire other kids to talk to their parents the way they need to be talked to. You feel me? We get to the park. Food comes out. Bike comes out. I come out. I smell the fresh air. Smelt it. Woo! It's a good day to ride. That's what I said to myself. The exaggeration to these stories are crazy. I get out. I'm stretching. Getting ready for, exercise and getting back to my energy, right? Put the food, the blanket down. Put the food to say hi to everyone. How you doing, bike? Bike? Everybody else. What's going on? My cousin's like, and I was like, yep, is right. Bike. Ladies and gentlemen, I grabbed the bike and I sat down on it. Woo! First time, baby. Put the leg around it. And then I remembered. Never learned how to ride a bike. I don't know the first thing to do to ride a bike. I've never had one before. No one's ever taught me. I've never rode anybody else's. No, nothing. I've never touched the bike until this moment. So I stood there and I paused for a second. My father's like, what's wrong? And I was like, it doesn't want to go. I got to go check something out. Got to make sure the chain is chaining. And I have to make sure that the brakes are braking. So give me a second. Let me try to figure this out. Get off my back. I get off the bike and I'm acting like there's something wrong. Because I'm like, how the fuck? That was pointless for me to ask. I could have asked for anything else. Why the fuck did I ask for a bike for when I don't even know how to ride the shit? So my father's like, go, go. And I was like, I can't. My mom comes and she's like, what's wrong with the bike? And I'm just like, Mom, I don't know how to ride a bike. And she's like, and why the fuck did you ask for one? And I was like, I'm just having that same conversation with myself. But I'm not going to let the whole world down. Everybody was waiting for this moment. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to ride this bitch. I got on it. The breeze was about 20, 30 degrees cooler than what it was outside. It went through my hair. Felt it in my curls. The sun was about, I learned this from Moana. Hold on. Due north. I don't know what that means. Temperature was right. We good. And my calculation said this is the bike trail. Now this bike trail goes all the way down and then it turns. So I said with my trajectories, if I keep on going straight down, the bike will ride itself. It's a little hill. very small little angle that trail had. And I was like, all you have to do is hold on to dear life, and you good. And you can act like you're riding a bike, just keep it balanced. I get on it, and I'm looking at other people for the past 20 minutes. How do they start to ride the bike? And I see, okay, they have one foot up, keeping balance with the other foot on the floor. When it's time to go, they lift the right leg up, put it on the pedal, and then with the left foot start pushing off because it's got the leverage. And then you come back and do the same thing with this one, and then you're gonna get the motor running. So I'm like, oh, is that all? You ever got in a bike and put your foot up and immediately saw the devil? Like dead ass. You on the bike. Your right foot's on the floor holding the bike, and then you get up, and then your bike goes click it, click it. That little move, that little click it, that shit. No, thank you. I saw God and the devil playing chess, playing fucking Johnny Cash in the back. I was what? How do you keep this shit up to actually do the motion of riding the bike? So I stood there for a little bit longer, and I'm just looking at everybody, how to dismount. I'm studying what I'm seeing. This was the original YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. What was in front of you? And I'm just, okay. Oh, well, she's a professional. Like, there was people doing tricks on benches. I'm like, oh, this is a situation. That's advanced bicycling. I'm still a beginner. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So I started saying, yo, try to do it step by step. Start just baby it real quick, just until you get the feel. So you're going to see, if there was phones back in those days, somebody would have recorded this big-eared, big-head Dominican child skipping and going like this. Pushing with my right off the floor and then going. And then trying to get my foot up, and then that click, that shit keeps on scaring me like the same amount every time. I do this for I don't know how long, but then eventually I get the hang of actually starting. So I'm like, brother, you worked hard for this. Let's take a break. Let's go ask for whatever ice cream cone the truck is selling at the moment. I would like a vanilla cone with a slight sprinkles. They didn't have waffle cones back then, that fancy ass waffle cones. We had paper mache cones, ladies and gentlemen. Tasted like paper with flavor. That's all that it was. Somebody dipped a vanilla extract and dipped it on a newspaper, and they made those cones. My mom said, no, it's time to eat. So I said, perfect break. Hot dog and hamburgers it is. I eat everything. I'm already in my mind. I'm like, let me clock back in. We got a lot of work to do. We're going to be here for a while. Get on the bike. I could push off now. Oh, one pedal. Oh. And then I stopped because the click, that shit came back. And then I stopped and I was like, brother, you got one push off, bro. Say so. Talk dirty to these niggas. I was excited. It's like, nasty with it. People, I'm telling you, I don't know how long it was, but I was doing this thing. It feels like eternity. It felt like eternity. And then I finally was able to get the bike going and actually ride it. But, my slow pace, I'm not trying to do anything what everybody else is doing. I'm going in my own pace. So I start going and taking like back and forths and back and forths and back and forths, and I'm just like, okay, I'm going over here and I'm going over there, and I'm getting good speed. I'm starting to see that the more I do it, the faster I go. So this is what happened. I'm going back down it, right? because that's the breather. That's the brake. Going back up it is not the problem, but it because it's not that big of a slant, but it's big enough where if you just don't do anything, the bike will just go by itself with a pretty good speed, right? So going up, it's a little difficult, but that was what was giving me my problem. So I come back up the slant, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it one more time. But this time, let's kick the speed up a little bit. Speed limit in the street is 45, ladies and gentlemen. I'm barely doing 20. So I go and I say, fuck it. And I'm going. Now I'm catching up to older people. Like, what's up now, bitch? Like that, right? Like going all types of crazy. Stop playing with me. I do this for real. Self-taught. Now, the one thing about this trail that I didn't tell you guys, there was a nice sized little a crater that I've been avoiding all day. The reason I chose that trail is because people were not using it. They were using the other trails around me. And I was like, oh, this is probably for beginners. So I understand what they're doing. It wasn't. It was a sidewalk. But listen, I ride that shit. And I'm going. And I'm like, let me keep up speed a little bit. Kicking it. This pothole that I've been avoiding, by the way, happens to get the front of my tire at the very end of where the crater begins. Like this is the hole right here. The bike hit that much of it, and my bike flipped. If you look at this right here, there's the scar for the proof of it. Now, when I saw the back of my sneakers from the top, I said, it's been a good run. It's been a very solid 8 years of activities and situations. I enjoyed it. I appreciate my time on this earth. I was like, I hope newspaper do not get a hold of this, because I'll be the only dumb nigga that died riding his bike by himself with no other people around to cause this to happen. Take me now, because I know that everybody in the park just saw this. When my face, now mind you, I didn't hit on the side. I didn't hit, this nigga didn't even get me a helmet. I didn't have anything. It was me and my body. And when I went like this, the song, I Believe I Can Fly, I created that song. I believe I can touch the sky. I touched something. My forehead hits the concrete. Now, I don't want to say that I was loud when I started to cry. Let's just say that if somebody 3 buildings down had their window open, they were going to hear it. They were going to hear it. Absolutely. So, what? Dripping. Dripping blood out of my forehead. My mother's like, oh my goodness. Those grabs, she saves my life. My dad is holding a tree like this, and he's drinking a Corona. If he don't know how to ride a bike, why ride a bike? How's the bike broken? I pay $50 for that bike. That bike better not be broken. I'm like, oh no. Oh no, I was getting so good at this. Now I have to retire being a bicyclist. Because it wasn't fair for my future kids. It just wasn't. I didn't feel right doing it. My mom checked it. They gave me a couple stitches on there. I had to go to the emergency room, get a couple of stitches. That was a whole situation. Because I remember getting there. I remember laying on a bed in the AC, and I'm just like this. I seen this shit on TV, and the kid didn't make it. And I remember that, and then I remember that they were telling me that they were going to go do what they were going to do, and I'll be fine. They put me in a little machine to get the x-rays. I was crying, and it was emotional, so I don't remember a lot of what happened after that. All I know, after that was a blur. Bike was okay. Bike didn't get ruined. So I said, you know what? I'm going to keep on riding the bike, and I'm going to keep on trying to get better. I'm not going to let this stop me from my goals. Couple weeks pass by. We go to the park again. Me, my mom, my sisters, and my aunt, I think my grandmother. Go to the park again. But we're walking this time. So I'm like, perfect opportunity to train. So I'm with them with the bike. Because there's a lot of speed bumps on the sidewalk. That is bouncy as shit. And then I just start walking it the rest of the way. I'm like, you know, I'm not up to crossing streets and shit. So I haven't gotten to that level yet. I got to baby step the situation. I get on the bike. I don't use that trail. I use an actual trail that is just a straight shot back and forth, no tilt, just straight bicycling. And I just go there and I ride it back and forth. And I had a great fucking time doing it. But then it after that, a couple years passed, you know, I upgraded my bike and everything, and I'm able to go like cross the Brooklyn Bridge on a sunset, looking at the water and everything. It's beautiful. The scenery is beautiful with the orange sky, and it's a beautiful sight to see, especially when it's dark. It's like it's getting really dark, and then you still can see the lights and everything. It's beautiful. I love it. I loved it. I love bicycles. I've been doing it since 8 years old, and I want to get back on it again too. My son just got a bike, so I'm probably gonna soon get a bike and see if I can start that up again, because that story kind of brought it back a little bit, and I kind of want to do it. That's a fact. I love you guys. I'm gonna talk to you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed the videos. I got a commercial coming soon with me and my cousin, the Empanada King. That's what they call him in New York. And he makes the best empanadas in the world. But we shot a little video. He came down to Florida. I took him to a restaurant in Tampa. He's a food critic. He cooks himself and stuff like that. So he wanted me to do a little cameo and do a little video with him. And that's coming soon. He's got to go back. He's doing Disney, and then he's going to go back to New York. He's going to edit it and send it to me. Then I'll do something with it. But I love you guys. Thank you so much. Give me some ideas down in the comment. I think that'll work better. Put some comments, put an idea in the comments down below. What you want to hear next, what stage, have you ever done this, and how did that happen? Let's start doing that, so like that you guys can give me some ideas, because I'm brain dead right now. I love all of you with the bottom of my heart, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace!
Get money, stay high. Go to YouTube for story time with Ray Vibe. We say he's a great guy.